thing for blind people to play the harp, and he was one of them. And he used to like go and stay at aristocratic houses for extended periods of time and write a tune for them. Most of the tunes are called planksties because planksty is the Irish word for thank you. And so it would be Planksty somebody's name, or Planksty Fanny Power, Planksty whoever. And it's the places that he stayed in. And his son, apparently, it was a mystery for a long time why we had all of his music. Because there's a book, an O'Carolan book, I have it. And it goes right back to the 1600s. And apparently it was his son. His son used to follow him around, and he wrote down all the music that his father composed. Because, of course, he couldn't. He was blind. So anyway, so that's pretty cool. But there's the ones that are named after people are beautiful. The ones that are named after things about his life are also incredibly beautiful. One of my favorite ones is called O'Carolan's Receipt for Drinking. And it's otherwise known as The Receipt, or O'Carolan's Receipt. And it's such a beautiful tune. I'll just play it for you just to give you the idea. And not only is it beautiful, but it's very mournful. It must have been quite a receipt. So that was quite a receipt. But the one I was thinking that we might learn tonight is called O'Carolan's Draft. And let me just play that one for you. Well, actually, I'm going to find a decent version of it first and send it to all you guys so you can kind of follow along while I'm playing it. So I was all set to get back into the longbow thing, and I just thought people need a break from that.
What was that first song you played there, Dan?
It was called O'Carolan's Receipt for Drinking. Most people refer to it as The Receipt or O'Carolan's Receipt.
That was nice, yeah.
It's just gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Now, it's a little bit not quite as accessible as the one I'm about to play for you because it's rubato. Do you guys ever hear what that term rubato? Anybody ever hear that before? It means without time. Okay? So you can really play with it. See that? So you take your time with each phrase, and the problem with that is, like, it's beautiful, but to teach it like is a little bit more advanced because you learn the phrases and then it's up to the player as to the timing you put on it. And so it's not really something we could just do all together, if you know what I mean. But this
we can find on the sessions if we wanted to deal
Yep.
with it on our own.
Oh yeah, here I'll find a good copy of that too for you. Now this
It's
number
pretty.
2 looks really good here. Little weird. Yeah. This is very good. The very, very first one is excellent. So, and you're going to see why I'm choosing this tune, because it is also excellent practice in the key of G. And it'll help everybody get your intonation better and all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm just going to send it to you all. So we got Susan. Okay. Okay, I've sent everybody the good version. I will also put it in the chat window. Oh, there's Bev. Hey, Bev, how you doing? Nice to see ya. All right. There, she's in the chat window as well. Okay. So now, Debbie, did you get that? No? Well, here, I can also you didn't get the email yet? It'll just take a second to come through.
I did.
Oh, whoops. I gotta send for. We got a new, we have a new student tonight. I thought I sent her the link already, but she's asking for the link. Elizabeth from the orchestra. Or no, sorry, she was in the beginner class. She was in the beginner class like for the whole winter, and she audited some of our classes on YouTube, and really wants to join. So I think it's going to be great. Anyway, so if you don't have that email, everybody have the email so far? Yeah, you got it?
Yeah.
For the draft? Okay, good, yeah. And then we'll just wait for Elizabeth to get on here. But in the meantime, I will play it for you. Oh, Debbie's got it. She's coming back from the printer. Okay. So now,
secrets.
so while you're looking at it there, oh, there's Elizabeth. That's great. Self-learning.
Hey.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello. Hello, hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. You came just in time.
Okay. I'll leave myself here.
Sure. So what I'm doing here right now is we're going to learn a slower tune tonight. Like it's not a really slow tune. It's one of these medium kind of tunes. I thought it would be good because it's such good practice in the key of G, this tune, O'Carolyn's Draft. And also, it'll get your bow moving in a way that's kind of similar to reels without having the heat on that you have with reels, you know, like where it's fast and it's kind of like eighth notes flying. This is kind of a gentle 4/4 kind of tune. So anyway, so and I got to send it to Elizabeth too here. Whoops. Okay. Sent. There we go. Forward. Elizabeth. There we go. Okay. I've sent it to you now too, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
And Elizabeth, this is everybody. Everybody, this is Elizabeth.
Hello. Nice to meet everybody.
Welcome.
Me and Elizabeth go way back to the Shouldice Clinic. We were there together at the same time. It was pretty wild.
Like I said, no secrets.
Yeah, really though, eh? And it was funny because I remember, Elizabeth, when I saw you there, you were like, I just about brought my fiddle. And aren't you glad you didn't bring the fiddle? Wasn't it a weird set environment? Very strange. You would not have felt comfortable to play the fiddle in that place at all.
No.
Very, very strange. Anyway, so we're going to learn this tune tonight called O'Carolyn's Draft. It's a beautiful tune in the key of G. And I've just sent it to everybody, including you. And so I'm just going to play it a couple of times so that you can get your head wrapped around it. And then we're going to start learning all the phrases. And it won't take long. I'm just going to mute everybody here. 1 second. And then it'll be nice. It's a nice summer tune. It's a really nice summer tune. Okay. O'Carolyn's Draft. right, that's her. So what do you think there, guys? Do you think it's worth learning? Isn't it lovely, eh? And again,
Sounds almost classical in nature.
Yeah.
yes,
Sounds like Bach.
it
Sounds
does.
Like Bach.
Now,
Yeah.
the thing is that you're not the first person to point that out about O'Carolan. And it's really interesting because he never left Ireland. The guy never left Ireland, but he traveled in a group, a circle of people that would have been exposed to European culture at the time in the late 1600s and early 1700s because of the aristocratic households that he was in. And they say there's a famous story about the O'Carolan's Concerto. Has anybody ever heard of O'Carolan's Concerto? Oh, I'll play it for you in a minute. But anyway, it's a great tune. It's like a cross between, there's Simone, great. It's like a cross between Bach and a reel. It's really good. But anyway, the story is that he was at one of these aristocratic houses, and this composer was there, this Italian composer apparently. And I can't remember what concerto the guy played on the piano. And it was very impressive or whatever. But then O'Carolan said, if you like that, let me compose something for you really quickly right now. And apparently in like 20 minutes he composed O'Carolan's Concerto. So that's why they say he had that influence to his playing. People call it Baroque, the sound of it, and they would be right because 1650 to 1720, that was the Baroque period. So any influence he would have been from there. But let me just play you the concerto to give you a little idea of the guy's music. And I'm going to tell you, the book is this thick. There's hundreds of tunes in there. I can't think of one that I don't like. They're all really cool. They all have some little weird twist, something like that. Certainly worth looking at. And the music is so old, hundreds of years old. Isn't that just a great tune? I just love that tune. And then when I play it, I think about the scene at the place at the castle or wherever it happened, and where your man from Italy would have all the ruffles and very finely dressed and the big quill pen. And O'Carolan, he was basically a tinker, like a traveling person. So he would have been in rags, completely blind, and he was also an alcoholic, a severe alcoholic. And the joke is that he saw a double of nothing because he was blind. So I just imagine him just rattling that tune off just in his rags. It's a really nice picture.
Movie about him.
That would be a great scene from a movie, wouldn't it?
No.
All right. Anyway, so that's O'Carolan, and I thought it would be a great idea to have a crack at an O'Carolan tune. And I thought next week we could do a Strathspey, because it's been a while since we did Scottish music. So I thought that'd be good. Anyway, now Simone there, she missed the me playing O'Carolan's draft. So maybe I'll give it another go. How you doing there, Simone?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Sorry, I'm just trying to send my parents the link again. They get a bit confused.
Yeah, that's all right. I was hoping your mom would show up. Is that them there on that says iPhone?
I don't think Maybe.
Maybe?
Maybe they're hearing you be rude about them.
You might as well get it out now, you know, just get it out now. Anyway, okay, well, that's great. So if that's your mom, Diana, there, then I'll just play this tune one more time, okay? Oh, Carolyn's Draft. And if you feel like having a read of it, please go ahead. Just gonna put this up again. Okay, it looked like people were having a pretty good, thank you, having a pretty good time playing along with that. And you can see, if you're good at your scales and arpeggios, man, that's pretty well half the music, isn't it? Now, speaking of which, why don't we warm up with a G major scale, since this thing is basically the epitome of the key of G. I just have to move the tuba. It's the usual thing you hear during your online fiddle class. Hey, your teacher says I have to move the tuba. Anyway. So, a nice G major scale there, everyone, with the best sound you can possibly make and the best intonation ever. Okay? I'll turn on my tuner just to keep us all honest. Ready? And... arpeggio! Now, I'm looking at this piece of music here, and I'm thinking about that arpeggio, and I'm looking to see that there's a lot of high B's in this tune. Do you see that? Yeah, a lot of them. And so I'm going to suggest that we do the arpeggio once more. This time we're going to go all the way up to the high B. So after you finish playing your high G, which is the E2 close, you're going to play that 4, okay? And then we're going to do this thing. We're going to do that first, just up and down, just like that. Just add the high B. And then we're going to do this thing where we go back and forth between the G and the B. It sounds like this. See that? I find that's very strengthening for two things. First of all, it's strengthening for your high B, because the more times you practice getting that note in tune, the stronger it is every time. And also, it helps you keep your hand from traveling up the violin when you reach for that high B, because that's a huge danger. Lots of people that happens to them, they reach for the high B, the whole hand comes up, and the rest of the tune is sharp. See that? So you go back and forth between that G and that B, keeping the G in tune and getting the B in tune, and it gets you really good at that whole idea. Okay? So first of all, we'll go up and down the arpeggio using the high B at the top. Okay? Ready, and... Now, how did everybody's pinkies feel there? Pretty comfy? Okay, so now let's do that thing where we go back and forth. Alrighty, and... Again. One more. Now, how did everybody feel about that? First of all, did your B get all the way up there? For the most part? Good. Did you manage to keep the 2 where it should be and not come up the neck of the violin? That's the big challenge. Yeah. Did you notice that, eh? When you actually concentrate, it's like, wow, that is really... Let's do it again. Same thing, except this time it's going to be even better. And mine's going to be better too. I will say that my high Bs are getting much better. Ready, and... One more. All right, how do people feel about that? Getting a little stronger? That's great. Any questions about that? Okay, good. So let's take a look at this O'Carolan's draft here. Now, it's one of these classic O'Carolan tunes, and you'll notice this when we do other O'Carolan tunes, where the second part is not your average kind of 8-bar B part, eh? It's kind of got more going on. So although it equals 16 bars, there's not as much repetition. All right? So there's a little bit more music to learn. Most O'Carolan tunes are like that. They often do. So the first part is your regular 8 bars with the second ending, but the second part is more complicated, just a little bit more complicated. So let's take a look at this first part anyway. It starts off with a big scale with a jog. See that? Little jog at the top to the D. F, D, G, and then we come down. See that? Let's all try just that phrase together. It's my favorite phrase of the tune, and it's just a scale. Okay, so we'll play the D pickup in an up bow and go nice and slow. Ready, and... Okay, how did we do there? Pretty straightforward, eh? Yeah. Let's do it again. Same idea with the D pickup. Ready. Okay, that looks really good. I'd like to do it one more time for the strengthening, and let's add the 2 notes at the end of that bar this time, because they're the pickup for the next phrase. Okay, 1, 2, 3. we got this next phrase. We switch gears slightly and go to kind of an A minor type of thing. That's another scaly pattern, eh? That's all it is. So we got the E, and the C and the E, and then they got the 3, and then 1 and the 3, and then the 2, 1 and the 2, scaly. See that? Just like that. Let's give that a try, everybody. That's the 3rd bar of the first line, long E. Ready, and... That looked very successful. Let's do it again. Same thing, except better. From the E. Ready, and... Good? And then we got the first phrase again. But this time it scales down a bit quicker. Right to the C sharp. And that's an accidental. You see that? It's not in the key. So it's a little change to the note there, change to the scale. And then you go up to that high B. And then a light, great big long A, great big long C sharp, and then the D. See that? That's that phrase. It's a little longer, eh, that phrase. So let me play it again. It starts the same way. Right down we go. C sharp, 4. 2 G's. And then the A. And then the C. And then the D. Everybody see how that's structured there? So let's give that a go. It's kind of like the first phrase again, but a little different. So getting ready with that scale on the G, and we'll start right on that G. Ready, and... Four, 2, 2. Yeah, and the next run of notes you see after that D is a big long pickup to start the piece again. You see how that works there, okay? Let's try that last line again. That second line again. So, scaling up from the G, nice and easy. Ready, and... Right down. 4, 2, 2. And then we can come down. And we start her up again. You see how that works, everyone? Let's try that line one more time, and then we'll put it together. Okay? One more time with the second line. From the G. Ready, and... Yeah, okay. Everybody feeling good? Any questions about any of those phrases before we keep going? Anyone? It's pretty straightforward, eh? Really. Okay, feel free. Anybody, if anything pops in your head, just let me know. Let's do it again. Okay. Trying to get everybody kind of... There we go. Here we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Let's do this scale. Okay, now that looked very, very kind of no big deal, no problem. Anybody having any problems with that part? No? Excellent. Well, let's take the grinder to it then. All right. I'm going to make you guys much bigger and go off book. I'll tell you, I've never read so much music in my life because I never read music. Like, I do everything I do, I just do it by ear. And when I'm teaching in person, it's usually completely straight up by ear. But I find that on the Zoom, it really helps to share the music back and forth as a way to kind of lock in together on it. And it means that I got to be careful of my versions because I know a half a dozen versions of every tune. That's what I love. You know, I love learning different versions of tunes, but it gets really confusing. So I usually get the music up and follow it so that it doesn't vary, but it does mean I have to do a lot of reading. So here we go. From the top, ready, 2, 3. And then you're gonna go, and that's the pickup for the B part, okay? Now how's everybody feeling? You got her pretty well in there, yes, Deborah?
So when we go back to repeat
the repeat it. We don't play that pickup, right? Because the pickup is already in one, in the end of the bar.
Yeah, you don't
I
play
think
that D. That's right. So when you finish that bar, that first ending, you start the tune again on the G. You don't play that D. That's one of those just at the beginning. You also, when you start the tune, you don't need that D pickup. I like it though because it gets your bow warmed up.
I just noticed a double bar, so I missed it.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah. Oh, look at that. You're right. Okay. Anybody else have any comments, questions, queries, or complaints? Okay. Let's try one more time just a touch faster because that's pretty slow even for this tune. Okay? Just a little touch faster. One, two, three. Okay, very, very good. Very, very good. Everybody feeling okay? And that's probably about as fast as you would do it. It wouldn't be much faster than that. That's about the top speed for O'Carolan's Draft. So very good. Now, let's see here. Let's take a look at the second part. Now, the second part, in typical fashion of Celtic music, is the high part. That's kind of, for me, the first phrase. You see that? So it's an expansion. So if you do it with the pickup notes, it's going to be the F, G, and then we got A to the F. Up we go. Back down. And then a little scale up on the E. Back down. And the only thing of note here that you might miss is the double E. There's two E's after the little da-ba-dee-da-da. There's two E's there. So make sure you play both of them, okay? Otherwise, I'd say this is going to be pretty straightforward. So let's do it with the pickup notes, with the F and the G. Okay, we'll go very slowly. 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the first bit. Ready and go. Scale up, back down, 2 E's. Okay, let's do that again, just that opening. Very important to practice the opening. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's looking pretty good for everyone. And then it kind of just keeps going up. Back down. Back up. And then we'll get that next crazy bit after that. So let's just do this big scale. Yes, Susan?
What are you doing with your bow on that little quick note at the second?
Let me see. It's a single bow. But, you know, just go with my rule of thumb, or rule of bow arm, which is if you're going up for those little things, you slur them. If you're going down for those little things, you single bow them.
But you're going to end up...
You should by rights end up on a down.
Right, okay.
Okay, but if you don't sweat it, just slur it. And then that puts you back on track as well. Okay? So now let's do this. So this is going to be the third and fourth bar of the third line. Okay? We're going to get this little scaly action. This is just a scale with a few jogs. Okay? So starting from the E. Third bar, third line. Okay? 1, 2, 3, slow. One more time with that. Everybody got that, no problem. Ready? 2, 3, go. Okay, that looks great. Everybody looks great. Any problems? Now's your chance. Speak now. No? That's what my mom used to say just before seconds in our huge family. If you want more, speak now. Because my brothers would just completely demolish anything that was left. It was not as bad as my poor brother-in-law, Brian. He came from a family of 13, mostly boys, wrong side of the tracks. And he said when somebody reached for the seconds at his table, one time somebody stabbed the other fella's hand with a fork. Jeez, like that is me. We weren't that bad.
The end of that was or forever hold your peace. I don't know if you got that in part.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to do that whole third line now. We're going to play the whole third line. Let's see how we get along here. And let's do the pickups for it. The F and the G. 1, 2, 3. All right, nobody seemed to have any trouble there? No? All good? Okay, so let's get on with the next part, the crazy string crossings. It is crazy, no question about it. But it's also quite simple. So in this version, which I really, really like, they're using a B for every one of those string crossings. So the bottom note right through those whole 2 bars is a B. Now that's where it gets tricky because you got to do an octave there. This is an octave in tune. Wait. You hear that? Completely kind of continuous singular sound. Okay? So here's an octave out of tune. Oh, so it's pretty easy to tell when you're out of tune on an octave. But it does require a little attention because you want to get it as bang on as you can. So, watch how I do that with my left hand first of all, guys. You see how my first finger doesn't really move? Okay, I'll do it again. That's a really good thing to get good at. I've mentioned it before, fifths. So I'm doing a fifth with my first finger, and then I'm going down the scale, going back to that fifth all the time. Okay, let's all try that. Put your first finger on those 2 strings. This is what it should sound like. Hard one to tune, boy, let me tell you, it's my hardest one. Anyway, so that's what the fifth should sound like. So plant that down, put your 4th finger down, and let's do this thing. Okay, 2 high B's. Ready, and A, G, F. Now, how did everybody feel about that? Did it come out okay? That's good. Let's do it one more time. It's a bugger. There we go, octave. 1, 2, 3, go. And then it's just another scale. That's how that phrase ends. Okay? Now another thing I want to point out about that string crossing section there is to watch my right arm. Okay? I'm going to do it and I want everybody to watch my right arm really carefully. See that little tiny move there? You don't need much between the E and the A. Always remember that the most that you need to worry about with string crossing between E and A is the fact that the E is straight up and the A is out. See that? So if you see the little scoopy motion with my hand does that job for me. Little bit of my fingers in there too. See that? Okay, so let's all do that. Let's loop this thing until it's smooth. So I don't want to see any of this. Just nice little moves as best you can. 1, 2, 3, go. Again. One more. Last time. Keep going. Yeah! Okay. So how's everybody feeling about that? Anybody have any insights or complaints or revelations trying to do that? I'll tell you, looking at the right arms, like on the Zoom screen, really good. Really, really good. There were a few people before that were funky chicken a bit, and that time was very nice and small and smooth. Okay? Anybody got any questions or comments about doing that move? My best advice to give you is work on that fifth so that it's nice and reliable when you plunk that first finger down. Okay? Now, let's try this daring endeavor. We're going to start at the top of the B part and we're going to get as far as what we just finished and see if anybody survives. Okay? So the top of the B part. 1, 2, 3. Looks pretty successful. Let's do it again right away. Same thing, except better. F and the G. 1, 2, 3. All right, everybody feeling all right? No problems? Great. So now we continue on with, guess what? A big scale. octave there, G scale. And then you got these long notes. And then you got this little kind of... Let's see if we can get that far, okay? So let's use the pickup, the last note of the fourth line, which is an F. And then we're going to do our scale down to G, G to G, okay? Ready, 2, 3. Now I should mention that in this particular version that we're reading here, you do this kind of... Most people just do a long note, so it sounds like... And then they start in on the last line. Okay, just to let you know about that, because it's the only thing in this version I thought was kind of weird. And certainly I just play a long D. So if you feel like playing a long D, probably be lovely. This also works just fine, okay? So let's try that line once more there, guys, and then we'll move on. So F pickup, and then down we go from G. Ready, and... do this fun little scale. Is it? I wonder if it sounds familiar. You see that? Yeah. So we do 3 of them there. 4 of them. Okay. Let's do that again. Aren't you glad we Aren't you glad we learned that? Let's do it again. 1, 2. See that? Let's try that last little bit again. So let's try right from the... Okay, because that's really where that pattern starts. So that's the end of the second last line. Ready, D. Yeah! All right, how's everybody feeling about that? Great. Now, I think that we'll take a quick breather, and then we're going to try to play that whole B part. Okay, that's what we're going to try to do now. Yeah, a little bit of a rollout would be very good. My God.
I got this book. Have you seen this book?
No.
And it's got a version in it of Carol Ann's draft.
Oh, good.
It's a little bit different.
Yes, and of course it's going to be different. I'll tell you what, you know what's interesting is that I have the original O'Carolan book, which were the original transcriptions like from 1650, like they published it or whatever. And so it's the original ideas from O'Carolan from that time. And the tunes have changed over the 300-400 years. They've kind of sugar-coated them a little bit, you know? Like, for instance, the O'Carolan receipt that I played for you, the actual original, there's parts that are kind of a little bit odd. And so they've kind of, like, let me see. I know, I'll just play it for you. So... I think it actually goes... something like that. It's much simpler, you know, but people kind of embroidered them a little bit over the years and made them make a little bit more sense in terms of, I can only figure it's in terms of, you know, 20th century tonality. Like, I think people heard things a lot different in those days in much more simple way. But this draft, for instance, is another example. If you go back and look at the original O'Carolan, some of it might seem a little awkward. And so they've kind of sugar-coated it for us, you know, with this version, and probably that one that you have there too. The nice thing about that, what you have, is the harmony part. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
If you were allowed to play with anybody, it would be really great.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. But I guess people can now get together in duets, right? You can get together up to a quintet now in Ontario. Outside. Yeah. Yeah, since last Saturday, people have been allowed to gather in groups of 5 outside.
But you can't sing.
You can't sing and you can't capture content for the internet. You're not allowed to do that. But when they put through the stage 1, we'll be allowed to do that. And they figure that's going to be even earlier than June 14th, which is great, I think.
Is that book easy to find, Dan, that you have?
The one that I have, I think the best thing to do is to contact Paul Cranford. Do you know who that is? Cranford Publications. Let me send you the...
Okay.
Send you the info, because it's he's the one that gets all those old books.
Okay.
Cranford.
But I wonder, that must be in the public domain, so it's probably on IMSLP.
Yeah, and it's
well, right?
yes, and I think somebody said it's all online too. But the book is nice to have, you know.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Now let me see. Is Scottish, Irish, O'Carolan? No, he doesn't have it, but I bet you'd be able to get it for you. It wouldn't take you long to find it, that's for sure. Let me grab a copy. I can show you the cover. Just hold on. It's right over here. O'Carolan book. Not it. No, that's not it.
So, Deborah, what's the name of your lovely doggy?
That was Jack.
That's Jack. That's like...
And Lexi
Oh,
is on the couch.
oh, yeah.
Here?
Very
Little
sensible.
thing. Yeah.
Very sensible.
Okay.
Little princess, actually. I'm quite sad, though. My colleague at work had to put her dog down today.
Oh.
no.
Had a tumor in its stomach.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah, they're heartbroken. So I told her to take the day off.
Yeah.
I remember when I was, we had a dog, I got a dog when I was 6, his name was Tigger. And he was a present to me. I still remember because he was in a box that was wrapped. And my brothers were sitting around, and my dad gave him to me, and he leapt out of the box. He was a little, a mutt, you know, we only ever had mutts. Like a little Cocker Spaniel Lab mix. That dog was great. He went everywhere with me. And when he got old, he just went off in the woods and never came back. Like, he was about 13, and off she went. She never came back. So then we got another dog from up the road, from the crazy people up the road. And it was a little black lab, and his name was Bear. And we didn't even have him like 3 weeks, and he got out. And he was nowhere to be found. And my brother Michael found him 2 weeks later in the ditch up the road. And he got hit by a car, and his internal organs were pierced, and his pelvis was busted. And I remember my dad giving us the bad news at the car dealership, like, you know, Bear's not gonna be worth it to fix him, and I remember he said it's gonna cost $1,500 just to fix his broken bones, and then they don't even know if that's gonna do the job. And I had spent the whole summer working at the grocery store, saving up money to build a room in the basement for myself. and right away I said, well, I got $1,500 in the bank, you know, let's do it, you know. And but then Dad explained, like, you know, you could spend that and he still would be not okay. Like, I don't think it's a good idea. So then we had to do away with him. But then we got Spook, who was his brother. And Spook was the best dog ever. Didn't matter where he was on the 10 acres. All you had to do was stick your head out the door and say, Spooky! And up he'd come. And I remember that we got a hardwood floor, and my mom was really proud of it. And she would not let Spook be on the hardwood floor because he was afraid that he'd scratch it, eh? And he was so loyal, he would not set foot on that hardwood floor. You could hang a stake in front of him and he wouldn't come in. And I remember one morning I came down the hallway and my niece, Alex, who was like 3 at the time, has got him by the tail. And she's got all her little weight on his tail. And she's going, "Come on, Spooky, and watch Barney with me." And he would not go. He was like this.
Oh my god.
I had a dog that was part sheepdog, and he used to lose his hair a lot. So when I visit my family up north, my mother would allow the dog at the door, but he wasn't allowed in the house.
Yeah.
So at night, when everybody went to bed, the dog crawled and got on the couch and had a sleep. And when she woke up, he saw her and he slithered off the couch and crawled back to the door.
Nice one. Nice one.
Yeah, because he knew. He knew.
Anyway, so here's the O'Carolan book. This is like the original compositions.
Wow.
Okay? It's a great book. Let's see if I can find any info. Ossian Publications. OSSIAN. We got this at the Halifax Folklore Centre, I think, a long time ago. So that's a great resource for books too, guys, in this day and age. The Halifax Resource Centre is where we got all of our Skinner collection and Neil Gow. They got all that old stuff there. And these days, they're probably shipping it everywhere. So it would be worth getting in touch with them. But so this, as you can see, it's kind of, they're all kind of, it's much simpler sort of versions and a simpler way of thinking of music, I'll tell you. I think that's what it is.
The 1989 reprint is available on Abe Books.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's used for $51.
Okay, yeah, 'cause it gets hard to find these books. This was my dad's. 84, this is the 84.
They redid it in '89.
Okay, yeah. So this one was 84, but there's more. Anyway, so that's the O'Carolan and that's the draft. So shall we try the entire thing there, guys? Right from one end to the other, what could go wrong, right? Okay, here we go. Okay, nice and easy, and I mean easy. No reason for a hurry. O'Carolan apparently was never in a hurry in his entire life. Okay. 1, 2, 3. was nice. I enjoyed myself. My high B's were pretty good. How's everybody feeling about the draft?
Only tricky part is, though, when you do the string crossings, to remember to get your finger to stay down.
Yes, well,
Like something when you're just practicing it, when you're actually playing it, you're trying to think of getting the high note, but you forget about
yes.
practicing your finger. But anyways,
That's part of why I thought it'd be a good one to do, because you get that idea of getting that finger down and leaving it down, you know, and it gives you time because it's slower, so it gives you time, you know, to think of that and make an attempt at it. So I think that's really good to get good at that for sure. Yes, Susan? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
When I'm going from on a string crossing, starting off with the first one with the fourth finger, when I take my fourth finger off, it just snaps. Which is, you showed us how to stop the snap, but you need to show me again if you would.
Sure. So the first thing is to be up over your string. That's kind of the biggest thing. So this here is going to be a snap. See that? Kind of falls off the string. So you want to be kind of up over your string as best you can. Okay? The other thing is, if you notice, I have all my 4 fingers down when I do that part, because the scale descends. So now my fingers are lined up there and I can just get those notes, the A and the G and the F, and they're already there. See, it makes it for a lot less work. And it might help. I find that if I have a little bit of weight on my 2, it makes my 4 be able to be more independent and move on its own. Okay? So watch me do it. Watch me do that. See that? Okay, and that's another reason I chose this, is to get into the habit of putting all your fingers down as much as you can. You know, that's the fiddler way. I think it's the violinist way too, though. I'm pretty sure. Okay, shall we try a tiny little bit faster? Just a bit. Just a scotch. Okay, the draft. One, two, three. Fun with O'Carolan, 1650 fun. Okay, cool. So now, why don't we practice some of our older pieces of music here, since we got some time left, and it'll be fun. Let's see. How are we doing for jigs these days there, guys? We're doing the Cliffs of Moher and the Mug of Brown Ale, eh? And it's going quite well, if I remember correctly. Why don't we have a hook at those? Let's see how fast we can get them tonight, because we've been working on them, and I don't see any reason why we can't get the tempo up a tiny bit. Now, poor Elizabeth's going to be kind of reading like crazy and doing her best there. Have you played Cliffs of Moher before there, Elizabeth? No? Or probably not the Mug of Brown Ale either, eh?
No.
No. Okay. Okay, well, you're going to just put your helmet on and keep your gun up and hope you can get a few before you're dead, eh?
Yep, okay.
Okay. You have the music for them? Did I send you?
No, but I can find them.
Oh, no, I got it. I'll just send it to you in 1 second. It'll take me 1 second here.
Okay, alright, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So I sent it to these guys already. So let's see here. Sent. Cliffs. There we are. So I'll forward you this because we want to make sure you have the right version. Okay, so there's one coming with the cliffs on it. Better mug. Yeah, and the Mug of Brown Ale I kind of modified a tiny bit. Yeah, here we go. So I want you to have that one too. Elizabeth. Okay, I've sent you the both tunes now.
Super, thank you. I got the cliffs.
Great. Okay, so the two jigs. Oh, there's your email from your mom there, Simone. On Zoom, we've been getting a new one. Sorry to miss. Oh, she had to miss. All right. Yes, people swearing at computers. Never fun, that's for sure. Anyway, so Cliffs of Moher and the Mug of Brown Ale. You think we can play it about that fast? Would that work out? Great. We can go a little faster, but for now, that's great. 1, 2, 3, and... check in quick. See how are you doing there, Elizabeth? Are you cotton on to it pretty good?
Yeah, not bad at all. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
good.
fine.
Okay, so we're going to go a little faster. I wanted to check in, make sure there's nothing you want to address. Now, I saw a few frustrated faces when it comes to that ending. And I was working with somebody on this tune today, and I was talking about how that ending is a hard one. It's on the low strings. Let's just do just the ending a couple of times, okay? 'Cause that's what really helped her today. Okay, ready, 2, 3, and... Again, ready, and... One more time, ready, and... So now, let's do this. Ready, and... One more time, ready, and... That looks much better. Everybody feeling better about that? Getting it in there? I was saying to the person I was teaching it to today that when I've been playing this tune since I was like 10. It was in my family band's set list, and we did it right before the 10-penny bit, the Scottish 10-penny bit. We didn't do it right. We didn't play it right. We didn't play the ending of the Cliffs of Moher the way it's written here. I was racking my brain trying to figure out what we used to play. But it was definitely not that ending that goes down low like that. My brother Sean wrote out all those tunes, and it wasn't until later in life when I moved to Toronto that I realized that he made a few mistakes. Which is understandable. He was a 16-year-old kid transcribing tunes off of records. It's pretty hard, you know. I think he did a pretty good job. But definitely, we didn't do that same ending. So it is tricky for sure. Now, can we go a little bit faster? Oh, good. Splendid. 1, 2, 3, and... One more. Woohoo! Everybody hung in there real good. That's great. How you feeling, Elizabeth? You look pleased with yourself, tell you the truth.
I knew which bar we were in.
Excellent. Gee, that's great.
I'll be better. I'll be better next week.
That's great. No, that's really, really good. Okay, anybody having any problems with the Cliffs? Yes.
The only problem is like 1, 2, 1, 2. I can't. When I'm going faster, I'm having a hard. I get myself a little mixed up because I'm trying to do this,
Yeah.
and I lose it when it's going too fast. So
Well-
I guess it's. gonna take time, right?
It does, and so if you were doing that, I would suggest going back to that scale pattern. See how fast you can do it with the rhythm still there, and that's your ceiling. And then you're going to be working to get past that ceiling. You see what I mean? And then you'll know what tempo to pay attention to it straightening out on you.
Yeah, the other teacher the other day had me doing the singing it and gestures with no thing, and then the metronome.
Good
and
idea.
Doing the and then playing it.
What a great
It
idea.
helped.
There you go.
It did help.
Just do loads of that.
But that was low. That's not when it's fast, right?
Yeah, but it will. It's just the type of thing that the tempo will increase as you get better with it. How about you, Simone? You had a question?
Yeah, I'm sorry if you already explained this in past lessons, but just the bowing, is it like often slurred or like often all separate? Because I think that's where I get most
Yeah.
confused.
It's usually all separate. There's some slurs you can do. There's some common slurs. So, let me see. I do those. See that? That's a good one to do. And then there's so I'm going to give you one little trick, because you can play jigs single bowed right from one end to the other, and it sounds just great. It's got the nice jig rhythm. Everything's really awesome. If you want to get a little creative with it, you can slur over the bar line and into beat one. So I'll give you an example of that. I do that. Look, this is nice. So you're getting the idea. So it's where I slur from beat 6 into beat 1 sometimes. Usually on the up bow, not always. But anyway, that's an idea for you, Simone. But for the most part, single bowed, you can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong. Okay?
And emphasize beat 1 and 4, or like 1 and 2.
Yeah, if you were thinking of a 2 feel, yes. But if you were thinking of all 6, that would be 1 and 4. You were correct. So look, my arm moves like this. Yumpity, 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 yumpity. See that? And my hand is flopping out. So 1, 2, 3. That was the flop on a tone. I try not to muscle it. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's it there. And you got the nice floppy bow wrist. So that should work really good for you. Like that, you should be able to get a good 8th note out of that wrist, I'd say. Okay? But that's the jig rhythm that we're continually working on. We haven't worked on it for a while, though. It's true. We've been getting hung up on the real rhythm. Okay? Shall we try one more time? A little bit quicker? Elizabeth is like clutching her helmet and moving forward. It's great. 1, 2, 3, and... How did that feel for everybody? Did it work? Some success? Because that was like...
I'm slurring the whole second half.
What's that?
I'm slurring the whole second half, basically.
Oh, like unconscious slurring?
Well, just to get through it.
To get through it. Yeah. Well, that's okay. I mean, at this point... Now, I'll tell you guys that tempo... That was 105. So that's kind of like right up, almost right up to tempo. Like you could play a dance with that type of thing, you know, almost. You'd have to put one more little push on it to get the arses moving, but that's about all.
The dancers be tripping. They'd be tripping over my notes because I play some notes, others I skip.
What, don't you think dancers skip the odd step as well? Because they do,
Yeah, I can see them in the middle of the air and going, what?
Yeah. Anyway, so that's great. How encouraging. Everybody was just moving along great there, right up at 105. So keep that in the back of your head because that's really awesome. We're going to try again at that another time. Now, let's see if we have a little crack at a mug of brown ale there, eh? I don't think we'll get her as fast as the Cliffs, but we'll do a little bit to her tonight anyway. Okay, Elizabeth, you got that tune there? Oh, you're muted. Unmutey.
I think I'll just listen to this one because the images, I need to rotate it, etc. So.
Oh, okay, well, I'll play it nice and easy for you to give you an idea to start off with, okay?
All right, thanks.
No problem.
Thanks.
So, let's all do it nice and easy there, guys, for Elizabeth. I mean, she can't hear you, but strength in numbers. Ready, to, and... Okay, now do you think, guys, is there anything in the way of us, not tonight or anything, of us getting that tune up to the tempo of Cliffs of Moher? Do you think there's anything in the way of that? Besides yourself, you know, like that's, we're thinking that is a variable, right? But okay, so I think that's what we should work towards, all right? Because I'd love to play this as a set, but that was so much fun playing Cliffs of Moher up at 105, everybody playing along cheerily. It was great. So I'd love to do it with the whole set, if it's possible. So let's try doing that next week. Let's try doing we'll work up the mug a little. Well, we'll do it just now. We'll try it a little bit faster right now, okay? And then next week we'll try the 2 tunes, hopefully right up there at 105, and see what might go wrong. I'm here to help. All right? I think it'll be fun. But anyway, right now, let's try the mug just a little bit faster, and then we'll call her quits. It was a lot of working tonight. You guys did great. Let's see if I have any water left in here. Yes. Oh, good. All right. Little faster. So let's try thinking like let's see what happens, okay? 1, 2, 3, and now that was quite a clip there too. Yumpity day, deputy daddle dee daddle dee day, deputy daddle dee daddle dee day. That was 95. Really, really good. How did you feel, Elizabeth? Trial by fire, I know, but you look pretty happy.
I'm very happy. It was challenging.
Oh, good. That's great. Okay.
That's my temperature now that.
Well, okay. Anyway, so here's what I'm going to do. So right after we're done here, I'm going to boot up the QuickTime, and I'm going to make a recording of those 2 jigs, played twice each, up at 105. And you guys are going to just keep having a whack at it this week, and we're going to check in next week. And then we got the draft as well. Okay? So that was a great night of music there, everybody. Right on.
Thanks a lot,
Yeah.
Dan. It's great.
Thanks. No,
Thank you so much. It was great.
Yeah.
Have you got an idea what the Strat space? You said you wanted to add a Strat space.
Yes, and I do have an idea which one. I'd like to learn Captain Campbell.
Oh yes, I learned that years ago. I don't remember it.
Okay.
It was one of the first tunes I learned.
It's a good one. Anybody already know it?
Actually, can you play a little bit of it?
Yeah.
And the wedding jigs. And the wedding jigs, right?
And the wedding reels.
Oh, we played that, right?
I don't know if we played the wedding reels.
No, we haven't.
etc. A whole bunch of minor sad music meant for a wedding.
I think we have it on the Oakville music. Do you want me to send
Oh
it to
no,
you?
I have a really good version. It's in Sandy's book, and I'll
Okay.
put it together, and I'll do that now too as soon as we're done here. And then that's what we'll work on next time, there, guys. Well, actually, next time is going to be the draft and the jigs at 105, and we'll take a look at the Strathspey. Okay?
And you're gonna send a version of that first one that you did about Carol Ann's that we couldn't learn.
Sure. Yeah, I'll find that too. Good point. I'll try to remember that. Hey, Bev, am I going to see you tomorrow?
Well, maybe play it by ear. I just got my
Sure.
second shot today, my second Pfizer. So I'll if 11:30, and I'll text you if I'm feeling crummy.
No problem. You just let me know.
Okay.
Good luck.
Good night, everybody. Thank you, Dan.
Good night. Thanks so
Nighty
much.
night.
Nice to
Thanks,
meet you,
everyone.
Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for
Nice to
joining.
meet everybody.
Okay, bye-bye.